Hello, everybody. This is Gabby from My Thesis Coach, and today I want to share one awesome hack that is really going to help you when it comes to the coherence of your whole thesis. Now, as you'll know, your thesis consists of different chapters. It might be 5, maybe 6, maybe 7, depending on the format of your document. And it can sometimes feel like you've got all these different bits, but they're just not flowing into one coherent piece of writing. And of course, as a long form research document, it is so important that your thesis should have that coherence. So here's one little hack that you can use to help improve the flow of your thesis overall and to make it feel like one really coherent document. So let me share the screen over here with you. And I've just highlighted this as a way to illustrate the point that I'm making. So what you want to do at the beginning of each of your chapters is you want to start off with a little recap about what you did in the previous chapter, and then a mention of what you're going to be doing in this chapter. So it might be something like, this is obviously just a very kind of base example, but it might be something like the previous chapter covered X, Y, Z. In this chapter, the focus shifts to discussion of the key elements of A, which are B, C, and D. There's a lot of alphabet stuff going on here. Now, obviously, this is a bit sparse. Your introduction might be a longer paragraph. There might be more going on in there, but you want to achieve the task within that introduction of summing up what you did in the last paragraph and then giving us a sense of what is coming in the chapter. And then you can see what you're going to do. These would be, imagine these are the subheadings of my chapter. You said you're going to talk about B, C, and D. So here we go. You talk about B here, you talk about C here, and you talk about D here. So then when it comes to the conclusion, what you're going to do in that section is you are going to give us a brief recap of what you covered in the chapter. And then you are going to point to what's coming in the next one. So as I've said here, I've said hello to those who are joining us today. Pop a little hello in the comments if you want to. So what I've done over here is I've said this chapter provided a thorough discussion of the 3 elements of A, which are B, C, and D. So there's that little summary. These are built on in the next chapter, which deals with or where the thesis goes on to or whatever it might be. You point to what's coming next. So with these, and again, just remember, this is a very basic sentence. In yours, it might be a stronger conclusion. There might be more summing up that you do over here. The pointing forward may be longer, but you want the conclusion to do that work of summarizing what this chapter covered and what's going to be covered in the next one. Now, sometimes people say, oh, but Gabby, it's going to get boring. You're starting off by saying what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to remind them what they said. Isn't the reader going to get super bored with that? And as someone who reads a lot of theses, I want to tell you that I am never frustrated when the author has given me too much guidance through the text. I'm never cross when they have explained to me what is coming, what they've covered. It's kind of like they're helping me through the text. They're adding all these little pointers, which for me is so fantastic, because reading a thesis can be hard work. It can be difficult to keep everything in track. It can be hard to remember how one chapter moves to the next one. Sometimes I'll read something and I'll finish to chapter 4, and then I'll get up and give my kids supper, and then I'll come back and I won't remember what happened. When I pick up chapter 5, I'm like, what's going on here? And this kind of threading work can be a really fabulous way of making sure that you as the writer are guiding. It's like you're taking them by the arm and walking them through this thesis and saying, look, here's what I did before, and here's what I'm going to do now. And in the end, you're saying, so in this chapter I did this, and here's what's happening next. So I really hope that you like this little mini hack. If you have any questions about this or anything else that you'd like to ask about thesis writing, I invite you to join our Facebook group, Thesis Writers Striving and Thriving. I hang out there a lot. I would love to answer any of your questions and meet more of you going forward. And remember to subscribe to the My Thesis Coach channel on YouTube for more exciting thesis tips and ideas. And I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.